fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kyo's Show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya, and well, at the age of 19 years old, he was getting ready to enter college and get an engineering degree. However, he got kidnapped by aliens, and he did then break out of his holding cell. And then he did encounter a elder Yautja, him getting into a brief scuffle before the two were broken up by their clan's leader. To which the man did tell Midoriya that he was worthy of a hunt. Midoriya then being knocked out with an unknown compound, as he was taken away to a different cell, and we do pick up a few, hours later, on an unknown planet, where Midoriya, he does bring up his hand, and slowly begin to try and open his eyes. Him wondering for a minute, that crazy dream, what happened? Midoriya going to sit up, as his eyes do go to adjust, him coughing a little bit more, wondering for a minute, where is he? This isn't home. Am I in the forest? No, wait, these fields. This doesn't feel like grass. Now, Roy would actually then turn to his left, since his hand did hit something whenever he was feeling around in the dirt. As the thing Midoriya did hit, it does turn on. Midoriya looking up and seeing a Yautja. Midoriya thinking for 1 minute that this is some crazy guy pulling a prank on him, or some deranged lunatic. However, this is whenever the Yautja does begin speaking in an unknown language, and Midoriya, he does actually watch as subtitles do pop up. It basically explaining, as it does actually just start going over all the information, in a brief summary. Well, I'm going to summarize it, but Midoriya gets a 10-minute lecture on it. He's on an alien planet. All of them are being hunted down for specific reasons. They've either been deemed worthy of a hunt, or they are the descendant of somebody who has killed a Yautja. Along with that, their strange and abnormal abilities are what brought them all here. Along with that, there are roughly about 3,000 of them on the planet. This planet has similar atmospheres to Earth. However, the air is a little bit thicker, and it might be harder for some to breathe. Now, the Yautja does continue stating, they've all been given a small little ration, and a handbook, explaining to them that certain things are happening on the planet. They are all being given this for one simple reason. Within the span of 1 week, they are all going to be hunted down. They will be released onto the planet, and from there on forth, whoever is remaining of the few people they believe will actually continue on living, and then be taken to a compound they have specialized for humans. Now, the Yautja, they do explain that they have a certain program for their people, and that it does mainly consist of normal humans at the moment. Now, with that, Midoriya is confused by all of it. However, he does look inside of the bag, pulling out a small little notebook, and opening it to find scribbles of Japanese, poorly drawn things. However, he does at least able to make them out. Now, Midoriya does actually pull out a knife out of the bag and go to inspect it. The craftsmanship on it is like nothing he's ever seen before. The way it looks, the way it feels, the weight on it. It feels perfect in his hand. This makes no sense. Now, Midoriya, he actually does go to pick up this small little device and look at it, as he does try to formulate the words the Yautja was saying. Now, Midoriya does just say compound in Yautja. And we actually have the Yautjas who are using these small little devices to keep their eyes on them, that have been embedded in their clothes, their tracking chips, and, well, they're back. The Yautja are very curious, especially since Midoriya was number 576 that has awoken. Now, the Yautjas, they do hear this word, as some of them do actually go to focus on the monitor where Midoriya is. As we do have the Yautja female who brought Midoriya in. Her looking to see Midoriya as he is saying some words. Now, they're all kind of taken aback, as over the span of 20 to 30 minutes, Midoriya does somewhat formulate a proper sentence, albeit simple in Yautja. Now, Midoriya would try to repeat this sentence, as he's thinking as he's beginning to scavenge for supplies. He only has 3 days worth of food in the ration kit, and the first aid kit, it has some compounds in it that he's never seen before, let alone heard of. Now, Midoriya would quickly get to work, as these 3 days would pass, and certain Yautja, or at least the Yautja elder, has had it brought to his attention that another human has been able to try and formulate their language. Now, the Yautja does find this to be quite interesting. There have been a few humans before who have been able to do the thing that Midoriya is able to do. However, none in the current batch that was brought to the planet. And he does inform them all to keep a close eye on this one, and that he does want his youngest daughter to be the one to hunt him down. Now, Midoriya, he has had it a bit rough. He's out of food, and over the course of these couple of days, he's only found small sources of fresh water to drink. Along with that, his shelter, quote unquote, is non existent. He has just been sleeping up in the trees. Along with that, of the species of animal on the planet that he's been trying to find, one of them does not seem right. It talks about these egg-shaped domes, but he doesn't know. Or, well, these egg-shaped things. He's just wondering, are they like dinosaur eggs or something like that? Why are they so large? It doesn't make sense. Or is there a species of animal on this planet similar to a dinosaur or a bird? It's all just so confusing. Now, Midoriya, he is also flipping through the page more, as he's been alone through all this time, and he's just been speaking out loud to himself. Now, Midoriya, he does then flip the page and see something that he did not expect, as this page is marked as a complete hazard, and it does talk about the alien. Now, this does catch Midoriya off guard, as he does read everything on the page. Now, as Midoriya is reading, he does then hear a scream, as he does turn and look in that direction. Now, Midoriya, he does quickly head off that way, as he does at least have a makeshift spear from, well, the knife. Now, Midoriya does go running up the hill, and he does try to see the source of this scream, as he's kind of horrified there's a group of 3 people here. And, well, they're all dead. Midoriya running over and trying to see what's happening, as there's a man on the ground with a hole in his chest. Now, Midoriya, he is actually able to discover that the man lying there with a hole in his chest is still alive, as he would run over and ask him if he's going to be okay. Don't know what that was. Hey, listen to me. Look at me. Midoriya actually turning his head, and seeing that he does at least have cuts on his neck, and they're a little bit infected, since they are a bit yellow. Listen, who did this to you? I don't know. Now, the man would die in Midoriya's arms, as Midoriya, he does just look down at the man. Some Yautja actually take notice to this particular thing, since certain humans are beginning to turn on one another once they find people. Now, with that, Midoriya, he does just look at the man for 1 minute, as he does see the necklace on him. Him reaching down and picking it up, and then opening it. It's a pendant of him and his family. And Midoriya, he does somewhat frown at that, as he would just close it, and then sit there for 1 second, turning to look at the other bodies. Damn it. Now, Midoriya, he would actually then go to grab the man's bag, this alarming a few Yautja, as he would then take everything that they do have on them, finding that all their food is gone, their first aid kits have all been expended, and well, the only thing they had on them was weapons, and these strange little devices. At least 2 of them, since one of them tossed it. Now, Midoriya, he does try to think. All these weapons, they do look different. And, well, they don't make sense. Along with a thing that could have attacked this guy. There's no footprints, there's no nothing. All there is a puddle of blood by his body. Midoriya trying to wonder. Okay. So, let's see. Midoriya actually going to go back over to the guy, as he does want to at least check something. Midoriya grabbing the guy by his arms and beginning to pull him towards a tree. Midoriya setting the guy up against it, as he does actually push him forward a bit, and go to pull up his bloody shirt, seeing that there's no exit wound for whatever hit him. What the hell? Now, Midoriya does wonder, for a brief second, about what this all is, as he does hear a sound. Him immediately turning and going to reach for his blade. The moment he does so, he actually just throw it outwards and hit something in the forest, as it does actually shriek out in pain. Now, Midoriya then actually does go to reach into his backpack, or at least at 2 places where he can pull the weapons from. Him being able to slide them out of the holsters and quickly bring his hands up. Now, Midoriya does begin to at least, well, clear the area. Him making sure to keep a few feet apart and his weapons up, as he does look down to see a blood trail, and noticing the particular color of it, green, as he does actually begin to start following after it, eventually being able to encounter a creature and take it down. Midoriya then using it to prepare food, as he does also begin to start preparing weapons. And he does wonder about everything, as he does currently just sit up in a tree. Him eating some meat that he doesn't really know. It tastes like chicken, at least sort of, but at the same time it also tastes like beef? I don't know. He is not really too sure how to feel about it. It's food, however. And from the book he does have, it's not poisonous. Now, Midoriya, he's there, simply just stripping a piece of wood, the back of it so he can make a bow and arrow, as he's trying to piece it all together. Him actually just sitting there and singing a song. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he is trying to understand everything. Anytime he does come across places where there was human activity, no one's ever there. And he did actually encounter a bunker in the woods, as you can call it, as he was very careful heading in. Now, Midoriya did take notice that there was a door, and the way it was set up. The moment Midoriya did actually go to feel the handle and grab it, he did go to turn it downwards. However, the very moment that he did do that, he did find that there was some resistance. Midoriya looking down at it, and wondering for a minute. That's not good. Midoriya then at least trying to push it down a little bit more. As he does, hold his his ear to the door and listen. As he does hear something actually happening behind there. As he does just do one simple thing. He lets go of the handle. And he does look around a bit more. As he does actually begin to start digging his hands into the mud wall. And he does eventually encounter metal. Or at least metallic. A metallic surface. Midoriya then picking up a knife and going to stab at it. Now, this is quite strange. The Yautja are confused at what he's doing. As Midoriya, he does just start stabbing away at the wall. And after a minute, it does actually give way. As Midoriya, he does go to pull this back and open it up. Now, Midoriya, he's not surprised. Okay, so this was a trap. Now, Midoriya would just force the rest of this metal panel off. And he does then try to kick his way in to the other side. Now, after about an hour or two of trying, Midoriya does get through. After roughly doing a whole bunch of complicated stuff, cutting an outline out, and kicking it hard, he does get in. Finding that the way the walls are aligned, they're stronger at certain points, and that the weakest point of them is usually in the middle. Him turning and seeing the trap that is currently laid out at the door. As he would walk over and grab it. Him cutting certain wires and bringing it all down. As the Yautja watch on, curious. As Midoriya, he does actually go to look at one of these things, holding it up. As it does change to security footage of inside the bunker. As it does zoom in on Midoriya's face. Him covered in mud, his hands completely, covered and soaked in it, and then his greasy face, along with his messy hair. I wonder what this is, Ray would say, as he does begin to start searching around. This place is good, and, surprisingly defendable. Now, Midoriya does think for a minute, after looking around a bit more, and basically trying to find resources. He was able to find more medical supplies, and even a food ration. Along with that, he did actually find a piece of armor, and a strange, metal piece. The weapon was unlike anything he's ever seen, and his mind roared with ideas of what it could do, along with the strange power cells that it had come with. But I was just wondering, wait, No, wait. But in order to do that, you need to. But to do that, you. The compo. Oh god. What are you just thinking? He wants to take this weapon apart and know how it works. Know everything about it. It's fascinating because he doesn't understand any of it. But he could in just a few short minutes, hours, months. He could be a master at this weapon, replicate the technology. And then there's the power cells. What is this? Is this some sort of chemical component, a specialized mixture? I don't know. Now, Midoriya, he does stay here for the night. And over the course of the next few days, the Yautja would ultimately be released. As Midoriya's metallic disc, at least the 4 or 3 he does have on him, they would actually give Midoriya a warning. And they do startle him whenever he does wake up. Midoriya immediately going to bring up the giant weapon and firing it once, as Midoriya does see what it does. Now, Midoriya punches a hole straight through the wall that he was in, or the wall that was right in front of him, as he does smile with glee, before looking at the metallic disc after he does pull them out, as he does stare at them for a minute. It basically explaining in English and Yautja that the humans are to constantly stay on the move. And if they do have defensible positions, that they will quickly be hunted down and taken out. And that they are to try and fight until these discs say otherwise. Then they will be taken back to captivity or released back onto the planet, and their memories will be wiped. Now, Midoriya, he's confused, as he actually just go to look down and press a button. As he does do this, he does watch as these small little discs do all begin to start magnetating towards each other. The 3 all clicking together as something more does appear. Midoriya is seeing a geological map, or at least a map of the entire area, as he does bring his hand up and go to click on something. Him being told that this place right here is where he is currently at, and that the difficulty to get into it would be level 3 to level 2, depending on experience. However, after Midoriya does go to back away out of that, he does go to look at more. The harder to find places are what is better, what's best. And it's not even that. There's apparently containers and weapons hidden all over this place. But I just think for a minute. Over the course of this week, it's all been, well, fun. Kinda. It reminds him of going hunting with his dad, or spending a few days in the woods, but even then, not to this extreme. Ah, I miss those days. Now, Midoriya would just grab these metal discs and go to head out. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.